First, I couldn't agree more with Kristalina. We need to watch out that the world is not getting completely fragmented. And when you step back a little bit, the broader picture 2 years ago here in Davos was about digitization, changing from the brown to the green economy. Now we have a geopolitical crisis. We talk about inflation, stagflation. We still have the fallout on supply chains, on coming out of COVID. So there are some fundamental shifts, and we should not get too short-term oriented, thinking about the next couple of quarters. I think the discussion here in Davos should be very much about the next 5 or 10 or 15 years, as there are some fundamental changes ongoing.
Yeah. All important, of course, but it's the here and now that will very much focus minds, and not least the declines we've seen in financial markets from the start of the year, which raises some interesting question about how banks like yours are going to operate in the new environment. How worried or otherwise are you that some of the sell down we've seen, specifically in the technology arena, it's looked a little disorderly, a little rapid? We have some sectors of the market now that are down over 20%, even if we don't have what we'd term an official bear market for the S&P yet.
What we see is a little bit the shakeout. All these tech stocks, they were climbing the mountain rapidly. Now there's a drop. Fundamentally, they are still solid and sound companies. And when I look more globally also now, the valuation levels have come down basically in all stock markets, but the profits are still there of the company. So we see a little bit, a shakeout that is happening. The question will be, where is economic growth going? Where will interest rates go? And what does this mean for 2023, 2024 and the coming years?
Axel, I'd love to disagree with such an eminent banker, but I'm going to try, because you made the point there that these companies are fundamentally sound companies. I would disagree. I think some of them are stunningly successful with great cash flow and great prospects, but there's also a lot of companies out there that should never have existed in a normalized world. In an interest rate cycle, they would not be able to exist. They've only now started worrying about cash flow and profitability at a stage where interest rates are beginning to rise globally. There has to be a great shakeout, doesn't there, sir?
Yeah, it is. And that's what I meant. We need to look to the midterm and the longer term. It's a shakeout, not unlike what we saw when the dotcom bubble busted in the year 2000. So a lot of companies probably will disappear, but we should not think that the fundamental trends will still remain, that technology and digitization will be important. New business models. I mean, these are the key themes that as business leaders we all need to be very, very mindful.
But as people have been doing this as a couple, as we have for not a different kind of couple, but for the last 20 years, we saw it last time round, and I know that Jeff and I get stunningly frustrated when we see the same patterns of behaviour, the same investor patterns happening 20 years later, despite what we've been trying to say on CNBC, despite what experienced business leaders such as yourself know to be sound business cases. Is there a case to answer that the financial community has ignored its responsibilities and actually allowed investors and allowed people to invest in, quite frankly, companies that have got no hope of making it throughout the cycle?
Well, the beauty on the financial markets is this is millions of individual decisions. And I heard it even with you guys, mist of fearing out, and you always believe, well, it might go another quarter, and suddenly things are happening. I think we are somewhat at that point. And yeah, maybe it's not unhealthy that we have a little bit that shake-up. And, going back to the fundamentals, and when interest rates start to climb again a little bit, that's completely unhealthy what we had in Europe. Negative interest rates economically makes no sense. Everybody understands that. So let's see if they are gradually coming back into positive territory. It will come with pain, a lot of pain, yes, but ultimately I think it will be healthy.
It's very